Hey, everybody, and welcome to my latest live stream. My name is Jessica Dwyer. I'm the entertainment reporter for Zenny62 Media, and I am here to talk about tonight's episode of The Walking Dead. It was called One More, and it's part of the bonus episodes that we're getting for this season. They added these on after the fact, and you can tell that the epidemic is causing some issues with the show because, or at least filming these episodes, because so far all of them have been very small in terms of cast. This particular episode, other than the extras that were playing the walkers, only had 3 people in it. Aaron Gabriel and the newest character, the shortest time character, Maze. There will be spoilers here. Not going to lie. If you haven't watched the episode yet, stop now, come back later to hear my thoughts. But this episode was really, really good. I really enjoyed it till the end. And it has nothing to do with the fact that I think Robert Patrick is a fantastic actor. He is a superb actor. He's a fantastic, awesome actor and needs more roles. He's great in everything that he's in. The problem I had is this episode turned into misery porn, which is something that the show has done often. But this just seemed really mean-spirited and just really brutal for no reason other than to be brutal. It really was just misery porn. It had I loved the interaction with Gabriel and Aaron. I thought that was fantastic. Of course, Robert Patrick's character was great. He was mysterious. He was tormented and just really well done. But the brutality and just the snapping of Gabe to just brutally murder this guy, what are we supposed to take from this? Are we supposed to take from this that everything is BS and that Gabriel is no longer a man of God? Is he just so bitter and jaded at this point? Was everything that led up to this that bad, like in terms of their journey where they were searching for supplies and things like that? It's bizarre to me. I know the Whisperers effed him up pretty badly, but this just seemed so extreme. And it's, again, the misery porn aspect just comes into play so heavily because you have this journey and you're thinking, and I know that's the whole point they're going for, but at a certain level, you have to think to yourself, do we just want to make this show just nothing but becoming bitter, jaded, and losing all faith completely? And do we just want to make this show about people just making it and not having any kind of joy or it just felt so mean in a time where we know that this was written and filmed during the pandemic, which is still going on. You would think that the show, which this is part of the problem, and it's lost a ton of viewers at this point, even though it's doing, it's not doing what it used to be because it's lost so many viewers. And it's kind of because people want something, would it have killed them to make this uplifting? Do they have to take the man of faith and just destroy his character in a time where we kind of need something uplifting? And what we got here was just a brutal episode that felt like it was brutal for this just pure sake of that. Up to that point, it was great. I love the interaction. But again, these episodes that are last week we had Daryl Dixon um, getting it on with a woman suddenly that we had never heard anything about. And that was a good episode. I mean, it was great. A lot of people were angry that Daryl got with another chick other than Carol or the girl who I'm blanking on her name. But, then other people were mad that he had sex at all and wasn't just a asexual being. But it was a good episode. Yes, but these episodes are suffering from a couple of things. Other than the fact that you can tell because of the pandemic, they have limited actors that they can have together on set. So they're all very condensed and they're all very limited, which is good in one way. But in another, it feels like they're padding this. Like the first episode of the season, I lost track of how much walking in the woods or in fields there was. Like every I would say probably a good 10 or 15 minutes was just them walking in the woods. That's it. And not going to lie, this episode here, that's what Gabe and Aaron were doing. They just were walking and running into zombies. And it's kind of sad that at this point, okay, this is what's going to happen with this walker. They're going to pull it and either its skin's going to rip off or it's going to rip in half. The other one stuck to the pole, pulling his spine out. I mean, I miss when it wasn't expected. Like the episode with that Nicotero did and directed a while back. I can't remember what season, but when the walkers just started falling through the ceiling was unexpected and horrifying and great stuff. Now it just looks like AMC has gone supposedly all in on this show, now, which is bad timing, but you've got them saying that they're going to be making these motion pictures with Rick Grimes coming back. They're doing another spinoff with Daryl and Carol, supposedly. But right now, this show is tanking on ratings. I didn't even know Talking Dead was still on, and apparently that's on tonight. But like, if we go and look at the ratings for this season, you're going to see a steady decline, and a lot of people didn't even know or seem to care that it was coming back when it did. You have the World Beyond. I'm sorry, my throat's going out on me. But you've got the World Beyond, and if you look at, did anybody watch that? Is it still on? I couldn't even tell you. But if you look at the ratings, the first season, the first episode of season 10 that aired back in October of 2019. That's how long this season has been going on. It had a 4.0 viewership, like 4 million people tuned in to The Walking Dead. Since then, it has declined to where this last episode called Find Me, which is the one that Daryl meets Lee, had a 2.26 million viewership. So 2.26. That's like half of the viewers. It dropped by half, basically. So we're not getting a lot of viewers for this. A lot of people have just decided to check out of The Walking Dead. And that's not a good sign for the show, even though, I guess at this point they don't really care because they've decided that next season is the last season. Now, one thing that I am excited about is the final episode of this bonus block that we're getting is going to be Here's Negan, which means it's going to be basically a whole Negan episode. And it's based off of the comic Here's Negan. So we're going to, meet his wife, who's being played by his real life wife. And I'm excited about that because that's going to be we know how that plays out. And it's going to be neat to see it come to life. But these past episodes with like Home Sweet Home that had a 2.89 share, like Find Me, it even tanked further. It's just not a good sign. And it's telling of these episodes because they feel like filler. And I know they were trying to say that these were like bonuses for us. We're going to make up for the fact that we had like all this time in between. And somebody online made a good point. I can't remember where I saw this, but they made a good point about these episodes. And that's exactly what's going on here. The episodes were created after they already started arcing out season 11. And so you basically know that what's going to happen here there, unless there's some sort of massive rewrite and they do decide to do something different, basically nothing major is probably going to happen here in these eps. Like there's not going to be like a major character death. There's not going to be a major change. If Rick Grimes shows back up, that would be amazing, but seriously doubt that's going to happen. So I don't see anything massive happen here. Most of these, if you watch, it seems like they're kind of a flashback, especially the stuff with Daryl. That whole episode of Find Me was a flashback all the way back to when Rick blew up the bridge. And they feel like filler. So, and it's kind of a hard, I get what they were trying to do with this. But the problem is with the pandemic, restricting how many people, it's restricting, just the episodes in general. They can only do so much. And the show's suffering for it. The episodes are suffering for it. I like getting character development, but it just feels odd, and fillery. Is that a word? Fillery? Yeah. And this episode in particular, like I said, it felt brutal and unnecessarily brutal, just to be misery porn, which I think that's part of the problem is know the world that you're in, the world beyond, if you will, and know that there's enough misery right now. I get it's your show. I get that's what, the show's about, suffering and persevering. But at the same time, when you have a character that's supposed to be, he came back, that was the whole arc of Gabriel, was redemption and finding his faith again. And now you're just basically ripping that away and getting rid of it for why? What is the point of that in a time when we kind of need it? Robert Patrick is a really good actor, and it just felt like a waste in terms of creating this buildup and then just ripping it away for the sake of misery porn. I don't know. To me, it just was that. And we don't need that right now. And I think The Walking Dead needs to realize that. And maybe the thing is, I get that if he couldn't be a recurring you could have just not ended it the way it ended. that you did. And I don't understand why that would be the choice you would make, especially with Gabriel, who was fantastic this episode and up until that point. And I'm with Aaron with the whole what the fuck reaction that he had, because it made no sense. And that's where we're at with The Walking Dead. The past couple of episodes, like I said, have felt very weird. The whole Walking with Maggie episode was just filler all the way through. It didn't have really anything. And the Daryl episode was great. I mean, it gave Daryl something. I mean, we hadn't really gotten hardly any Daryl, anything for him in a while. It felt like he hadn't really had any kind of meat, and this was great. And I love seeing how he got Dog. I was very worried that they might kill Dog in that episode, but they did not. Haha. So it's kind of time for the show to go. I think it's because it seems like they don't know where to go with it even right now, even though they know that they have an endpoint. Hi. I hope I pronounced that right. Let's see. It does feel odd, however. I think it's kind of a nice break from paying attention to so many characters in a way when I lower the scale. I do too. If it made more sense, I do like I said, I like the Daryl episode a lot because we got to get some character development for Daryl, which was really nice. But the problem I had with that one is one of those recurring problems with The Walking Dead, which is it's a flashback or a flash forward. They can't just focus on the now. And with that episode, it was all a buildup to something that had already happened. But I really did like that one. I liked that we got focus on a character, and it was a good arc, and it was nice to see. Okay, perfect. Thank you. But yes, I really do enjoy, I did enjoy the Daryl episode. I'm really going to love that Negan episode, like I said, because not only is Jeffrey Dean Morgan a great actor, but it's going to be neat to see him working with his own wife, Haley, I think is her name, and as Lucille. And he's really, even though that's going to be a flashback as well, it's a good story. We already know it. If you've read the comic, and it's a really good story, and it shows how he gets to where he is and why he is the way he is. So I really will enjoy that one. And that's the last of the bonus eps that we're getting. But yeah, I feel like they kind of rushed these because like I said, they were already working on season 11 at this point. And so then they decided, oh crap, we're going to have this chunk of time where we're not going to be on. Let's do something. And then they went and made these episodes. So it's nice to have more character focused, but put more into it. Yes, Negan. Negan is the man. He's like the only reason I'm sticking with this to the bitter end. And if they kill him, I'm going to be really pissed off. I would have loved a Negan show. If they wanted to do a spinoff, give Negan his own show. I would watch the hell out of that. I love Jeffrey Dean Morgan. But yeah, if they're going to do this, do it right. But also in terms of this specific episode, it just felt so misery porn for the sake of that. And I'm not about that. I mean, at this point, look on the news, you've got your misery porn. And that's part of the thing with The Walking Dead right now is they're having to compete with a reality that's as terrifying as their show in a lot of ways. So it's hard for them to do that and keep people wanting to tune in. That's why I'm like, why would you go this route? It makes no sense. So yeah, that's where I'm at with The Walking Dead. We've got, let's see here. How many more do we have? 3 more episodes through April 4th of the show. April 4th will be Here's Negan. So, hey, Zinny has joined. So I'm excited for Here's Negan again. I can't emphasize that enough. Because if you don't know the story of Negan and Lucille, who you're going to meet, it's sad and it's fantastic, but it's great, and it creates that character. And honestly, Jeffrey Dean Morgan hasn't had a lot to do. They've locked him in a exactly. Exactly. A's got it. They could have done a lot more with this instead of, like, I think they're trying to do that with the show, with these bonus episodes, like give each character or 2 characters at a time a story or extras. But I don't know that they're really utilizing it like they should. That's the thing. So thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I kind of rambled a little bit because, it's hard to describe the feelings emoted by this episode, just because it felt, like I said, it felt like a filler. It could have been really good, but there was kind of no point other than let's take the man of faith and just piss all over that. And there's really no reason for it. Gabriel's a good character. He's had a great arc. He's done some things that were surprising, but this really took the cake and made no sense in terms of the character. Just like Aaron's reaction to it, mine was the same. Like, what the shit? Really? Is this the shock and awe that you're trying to go for just for the sake of it? And it felt unnecessarily mean. Really? And then they kind of twisted the knife more at the end, which was like, what the hell? So yeah, it just felt weird. But so that's where I'm at with it. Thank you guys for watching. Hi, new viewers, if you're still there. I see there's 3 of you. But thank you guys again. And I will be back hopefully next weekend with another recap chat about that episode. Hopefully it's better than this was. It's called Splinter. So we'll see. We'll see what's going on. And with that, guys, I'll talk to you later. And I hopefully will be having some really cool little things for you coming soon. And I interviews and such. Well, fingers crossed. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.